So good morning to all. This is Dr. N. Ashok Kumar, working as an associate professor in the Department of ECE, Sri Vidyaniketan Engineering College, Tirupati. Today, let us know about the brief exploration of outcome-based education. So it have the different learning style and the learning strategies. The subsequent videos I will upload that different learning styles and the learning strategies. Today, just I am giving the introduction about the outcome-based education. So the outcome of this presentation. So what is the learning style and importance of learning styles and models and components of learning styles and the different learning approaches. These are all the outcomes of this presentation. So let us know about what is learning style, what are the learning strategies are there, what is the need of learning style, and what are the models available, and what about the components available, what are the different levels of approaches. So we will look at that. So the challenge need for this 21st century. So it defines that the learner, they should not get mastery of their domain specific. So in addition to that, they have knowledge, skill as well as attitude. So suppose if any discipline, particularly specific discipline, so they are getting the knowledge in that, so they are mastery in that. So in addition to that, in this 21st century, the students or learners, they need knowledge, skill, and attitude. Knowledge is nothing but a subject matter. So it is subject content. If we are gathering the knowledge, if we are gathering the information, and in addition to that, we have to enhance that is coming under the knowledge and the skill. As we all know, we have a lot many skills in this national education policy. Also states skill-based education, because as we all we want to become an entrepreneur. It means that we are not a job seeker, we are the job provider. So if we have that skill, then only we can do that. So skill is also needed. A lot many skills are available: interpersonal skills and managerial skills and intellectual skills. But the basic skill is the communication skill. Without communication skill, we can't exchange the information. So there is nothing without communication skills. Why? Because means India has become a regional based system. So in this system, uh, so we have different languages. So if we want to communicate under under one language, means communication skill is needed. So English proficiency is needed. So if we want to get the information, we want to give the information for the globalized world, we need skill, communication skill, and attitude. So students, they have to approach in positive attitude manner. So attitude means we have to think about it positive. So negativity we have to remove from us. So positive attitudes, and we have to approach it positive attitude manner, good intellectual, interpersonal, so that it should be rises from this attitude manner. So these three are knowledge, skill, and attitude. In addition, these are all the addition of mastery. Okay, so that is the 21st century. So, and tomorrow words of education is fully focused about outcome based education. It means that today I'm going to focus about the learning style and the learning strategy. So what are the outcome based learning styles and learning strategies are available? That way we have to focus about here. So, for example, if I consider the BTech based degree program, so at the end of 4-year program study, the graduates needs to demonstrate the mastery. So, if they are in ECE specific, electronics and communication specific, means they are mastery. They have get the knowledge. They are gathering the knowledge. They are getting the enhanced skill. So, not only a well set of domain specific ECE set of domain specifics in particular, it may be in specific VLSI image processing. So they are mastery in that. Suppose if we have to consider any learner, so they have to tell that I belongs to this discipline, so I want to become a mastery of that one only. It's not like that. So they have to learn the domain independent learning outcomes also. Why? Because it's interdisciplinary nowadays. Interdisciplinary will occur. So people, they have to follow the interdisciplinary skill. It means that they are not telling that I am related to this one in this specific, so I know about that. So for that only I can get the mastery. So I'm not belongs to this one. So it's not like that. So they have to learn domain specific as well as domain independent learning outcomes. So they need to create the skill for learning of domain independent also. And challenges and the needs for this 21st century education. So what are the challenges the teachers they are facing in this 21st century education? Okay, so first one is the students engagement. It is the big challenging challenges. It is a big challenging point for this 21st century because as all we are socialized, so we have so many social networks, everything available in Google, everything available in YouTube. So why they can come and get the class, the basic information. So that is the biggest task. So if we want to engage the students for, if I'm a faculty, if I want to engage the class for an hour, means students engagement is the biggest task for all the people. So we have to engage the students. Suppose if we are handling the classes through online, means as we all know, learning by doing and learning by trajectories, and we have chunking the videos. It means that we have to provide the content for 10 to 15 minutes. After that, we have to assign some polls, and we have to conduct the quizzes. So in that way, we have to chunking the videos. Through that, we have to feed the information in online mode. But offline mode, the students' engagement is the biggest challenges and task for every faculty. So why? Because means we have to handle the classes at all the time. It means that for entire hour I can give the knowledge based information. Means after 20 minutes to 30 minutes, students they are saturated. So just they have to mislocate it. So it is out of focus. So in that we have to conduct some activity. So synchronous learning, asynchronous learning, especially blended based learning. So it means that what is blended based learning means we have to upload the content. They have to gather some content from online. So the home itself they can learn the things, and they will come and discuss with the faculty. So if we have to do activities, means through that they have to enhance the knowledge. So the basic knowledge already we uploaded in online. So the blended learning is the best way to engage the students for entire hour. Okay, and synchronous and asynchronous learning is also available. So subsequent slides, I have clearly tell about what is synchronous and asynchronous. The second point is how to equip the students with 21st century knowledge, skill, as well as the attitude. So let us briefly describe. We discussed in these three. So I will move on next point. And how to allow the continuous improvement in curricula. So in outcome-based education, how they have to frame the means, the outcome-based education, it have the first point of curriculum, outcome-based curriculum. The second point is outcome-based teaching learning process, and the third one is the assessment. So, okay, so if the curricula is directly getting the advice from the industry. Why? Because means industry as per the 21st century, even if you are following OBE based education, mostly CDIO based things which helps to improve our country, because we have directly students, they directly contributed after completion of their degree, directly they joined companies. Means the society, what are the things they are expecting from the students. So it means that as the what is the need for the industry current requirements. According to that, we have to feed the content in our curricula. Through that, we have to get the outcomes. So we need to improve the student skills. Finally, they can get the job, and the industry requirements also will be satisfied, and automatically society will improve. So in that case, we are lagging in skill based. So for that only, national education policy, it gives the skill based education to us. So we have to improve the curricula. Okay, so in that curricula, industry support is needed. So we need to increase according to the day by day requirements, industry requirements and society requirements. We have to improve the updated the curricula. So the regulations has been changing each and every 2 years. They have to changing the regulations according to their society requirements. They have to improve that. So incorporation of better open educational resources for more effective teaching. So we need to include the educational resources. So that too also available in open. So each and everyone they have to access, even it may be a basic level or a medium level or high level, they can able to access the things easily. Then only they have to get the knowledge. So the continuous improvement we can get it in curricula. Also, we have to add the open educational resources. If we have to do these two means, automatically our teaching methodology and effective teaching will occur. The next point is how to ensure the examination system reinforces the teaching and learning. So reinforces, as we all know that after mid exam, continuous internal assessment exams, so we have to conduct the reinforces classes for lagging students. So why? Because means, for example, if for example, I'm telling that if any person who affected some symptoms regarding diabetics, means first they will consult the doctor. So whatever the symptoms he or she have, and they will explain, and they will describe the things. They will tell to the doctor, and doctor they have to suggest that we will take the medical report. So once the report it will come again, the persons they will consult with the doctor, and they are getting the medicines according to their level. They have to prescribe such as the medicines. So the loop will be completed through the reinforces. So like way, after getting the examination system, as we all know that outcome-based curriculum, teaching learning process, and outcome-based assessment. So after assessment, we are getting somewhat levels outcomes. So even if we want to get the outcomes, we need to improve much more. What should we do? We have to do, we have to complete the loop. So through reinforces is needed. So for lagging students, we need to achieve somewhat high levels, means reinforces is needed in that teaching learning method. So this reinforces, it should be improve the course outcomes. So for example, if I'm handling the classes, so if I am handling the classes, if I'm handling the course, so the outcome, so at beginning time I have to fix 60% of outcome, all the COs, and finally I can achieve the 60% of outcome. So the next time, that is uh, the outcomes are margin arbitrary level. So next I can improve the 6 to 70 for next courses, the same courses, next batches. So next I have to fix the 80. So according to that, I can give the effort, and finally I need to achieve. So some discrepancies are there, surely. So we have to avoid the discrepancies, and we need to improve our teaching methodology. We are using the ICT tools, then only we are using ICT tools, then only it can fulfill. So the how to ensure that the lifelong, so lifelong learning. So basically, learning means, I have to tell the subsequent slides. They have to describe it clearly, but the basic things I have to tell. So we can observe something from others, and we have to find something, unknowing things from the knowing peoples, and we have to incorporate in our characteristics. It means that behavioral change. Okay, so that's what in all course outcomes we have to define that the students will be able to do after teachers thought, or the students will be able to do. So such a words they have to mention. So lifelong learning, it gives that we can learn something from others. So when the baby, okay, when they born, after few months they are getting learning, so from their parents, and they have to imitate from their parents, and they have to adapt some skills, whatever the parents they have, they are whatever the parents they are doing, the similar things the kids also, the baby, not the kids, the baby and kids, they are also doing. So it's not have any duration. So up to the end of the lives, we can get it from others. We have to learn. So in this learning also, we need to ensure that lifelong learning is also needed. And the next one is the how to teach a large class. That is the important parameter in this 21st century education. And how to teach a large class. So large class is nothing but I'm having 200 students. So it is a large class. It's not like that. Large class means, for example, I'm telling that it's my own perception. It's not to be mentioned at anywhere. So if we have to consider the class as my perceptions, I have to categorize in three. First one is first bench students. It means that bright students are sitting at there, and a middle bench students, it means that average students are there, and last bench students and below average students are occupied at there. So I have to consider in that way. For example, for clearing these large class sections, I have to take this as an example for my own perception. So if I'm handling the classes as a teacher, if I'm handling the classes for first bench students, so advanced level students, bright students, in that way I have to prepare the classes, means the remaining students, they are out of focus. Okay, the similar way, if I'm handling the classes for middle class students, means first bench students, they're telling that students, the teacher is very easy. The last bench students, again, they are out of focus. So if I'm handling the classes for last bench students, means first two bench students, they have to tell that the faculty, the teacher is useless. Okay, so in that, these are all the perceptions. So in that way, then how we have to fulfill, and then how we can handle the classes for all the people. So that's what we need to incorporate all the, it should reach to all the people, even if maybe middle class people, sorry, even if maybe a first bench students, middle bench students, or last bench students, it can be fulfilled by all the people. It can fulfill to all the people, means we have used the ICT tool, information and communication tools. So the Canvas is available, Genomia is available. So yeah, plenty of tools available. We have to adapt that ICT tool. We have to include that ICT, information and communication tool, to our courses, means students, even they may listen or they may not be listen, or because situations, place of study, and instructions, teachers instruction, and these are all the depending factors for learning. So even the students, they are not fit, so mentally they are out of focus, means they can't listen the classes, means through that videos they can get it through that self-interest, and they will fulfill their requirements. So the ICT tool is needed. Why ICT tool is needed means, yeah, we have to upload all the materials in the tool. Students, they can get the idea from that if they will come and discuss their people. So the classroom environment, it should be fixed in that way. So actually, students faculty ratio is 1:20, 1:15. So those are all the requirements according to that. According to our requirements, they have to tell that actually the students faculty ratio is 1:1. A simple codes they have to be mentioned that a single size doesn't fit for all the people. So then how a single faculty, he or she can fulfill all the 60 people's expectations? So that's the biggest question. So we need to fulfill that question. Means we have to say the answer for the questions means we have to add the ICT tools. We have to incorporate our ICT tools in our course, means it can be fulfill all the things. So these are all the challenges for the teachers in this 21st century education. And the students engagement by promoting their self learning. So they have to read all the things they self. So that is an important. So if I want to get the content means I will go through the basics levels, and it means that self learning. So it's not self learning means all the things they are getting from the net resources. It's not like that. So self learning means they can get something basics, and they have to improve. Even the teacher is not there, they have to learn the content. They are having the capacity, so such a way they have to improve that. So students engagement by promoting the self learning. The next one is the learners are allowed to follow their own pace and own learning style. So some students, they are getting the information from um, videos. Some students, they are getting the content from books. Some students, they are getting from the slides, and some students, they are getting the glance from friends, and then they have to be follow. So different learning styles are there, and they have to follow their own pace of instructions also. So some students, they are getting the glance from the students, and after that they can go through one or two times, and they have to get the points. So to follow their own pace and the learning styles. The next one is learning to learn. Communication skills and working in groups are to be important in learning outcomes in addition to domain specific knowledge. So for example, if I have to take any engineering discipline, in subjects are there. So analytical subjects are there, theoretical subjects are there, mathematical subjects are there. If I have to get the content from mathematical subjects, means I need to write and I have to solve all the things in paper one or two times, then only I can able to get. So in theoretical content means just I can go through that, that's okay. And analytical means if I have to get the point first, and after that I have to think multiple times, then only I can able to derive the problem. So learner to learn, in which way we have to get the content, in which way we have to approach the subjects, then only we can able to get the full point. That's the called as, yeah, learning to learn. The second one is the communication skill. Without communication skill, we can't do anything. So we need to exchange the information. So in funny way, how they have to tell that the information provider and the teacher. So, for example, information provider is a news leader. So they are giving the information according to their specifications. They have to give the information. If I need, I can get the information. But the teacher is uh, after completion of the class, or otherwise after completion of the topic, they have to ask whether you can able to understood. So have you understood any? If you are not, means I have to repeat. So number of times they have to repeat it until getting the understanding. So they have to repeat it a number of times. So then only they can get it their points. That is the difference between the information provider and the teacher. Okay, so the communication skill is needed for all the kind of specific, and working in groups, the intellectual is needed for that. So working in groups are to be important learning outcomes in addition to domain specific knowledge. They are not telling that they don't get domain specific knowledge. In addition to that, they need to have these kind of three things. So working in groups nowadays in these generations, even kids also, they are telling that I have to pressurize Roy, because means the social media, everything they can access the social media. So they have to change their mindset. Everything is available to YouTube. Then why I have to give the respect to teacher? Why I have to give the respect to faculty? Not at all the people. A few descriptions. So they have given the kids. They have given. So later on, once they are getting maturity, means they can understand all the things. So working in groups means the intellectual is needed. Okay. So in this century, so they have to be focused about the intellectual things. So for that only they have included AICT. They have included the professional ethics subjects and the human values subjects. Okay. And the next point is continuous improvement in curricula by incorporating the better open educational resources in the industry. So already I clearly mentioned that educational resources needed. So if it is industry based, it means industry domain experts, they have given some feedback, they have given some suggestions. According to that, we need to improve the curricula. So then it can be fulfilled. And provide the adequate training to the faculty members for effective teaching. Why? Because means the adequate training is needed for the faculty members, because recent advancement will occur means they have learned the somewhat existing things. So they have learned already before 5 years before it was there. So they want to update means they need training. And apart from that, if we want to feed the content to students, we need to, in which way we have to teach the content to students. So teaching learning methodology also be needed. So provide the adequate training to the faculty members for the effective level of teaching. That's also one kind of challenge in this 21st century. And train the faculty members to evaluate the student skill using the more scientific approach. The existing traditional based education, they have to analyze through results. So if the students are very bright, means whatever they studied from the book, they have to gather from other resources. They represented in paper. They have written in that paper. After that, what are the points available through that evaluation? So through existing based education is more concentration about knowledge based only. So that skill and attitudes are very less. They have, but it's very less amount. So for that only this 21st century education, they have the implementing national education policy. So that skill based education they have to be considered. So as the faculty, they first need to go through the NEP. It's which not at all the points as which are the changes they are doing. Okay, so evaluate the student skills using the more scientific approach. So we can't evaluate the paper content only. We need to evaluate. We have to conduct the advanced higher order levels of content based quizzes, and they are assigning some project skill based things. So through that they can able to analyze the students' skills. The next one is the healthy debates. So if you want to achieve the group outcomes means we need to resolve the conflict of interest. So where the conflict of interest it will come, a group of peoples, they have to sit together, they have to tell their idea, and finally we have one better solution. So it means that healthy debates. So I have to mention it here, healthy debates. So healthy debates about course objectives and teaching learning methodology and evaluation. So in this, suppose if we have the same subject for 4 classes, means all the 4 faculty they have to sit together and they have to frame the course objectives. So we are framing the syllabus. If we are in autonomous or based institutions, means we need to frame the course objectives according to all the faculty course options, and finally they have to sit together and they will conclude. Means all the 4 perceptions it will be considered as the 1%. We have to improve our things. So for that only they are telling that we need to follow the healthy debates. So teaching learning process and evaluation also. So what is teacher's role? What is teacher's role? So role of a teacher is to guide and mentor the students. So again, I'm telling that role of a teacher is to guide and mentoring the students, not only feeding the subjects. As the teacher, we need to give the guidance of each and every step. That's why they are fixing the step manner. So O plus for helping people. That is the mentioned words. I have seen some books, but I forgot who was the author. So suppose we are having, suppose in our class, some students they are achieving somewhat high marks. Okay, gold medalist. It's not a big achievement. It's not only a big achievement for faculty. So in our class, all the 60 students, they are getting the degree, they are getting the job. That is the biggest achievement. So in addition to that, I'm telling that, including that. So such a way, students, the role of a teacher is to guide and mentor the students. So it's not what teachers teach. It's what learners learn. It is the learner-centric approach. The existing based approach is the teacher-centric approach. So in this teacher-centric approach, it's fully focused about teacher. Suppose if the teacher he or she came to the class and occupying the auditorium, okay, occupying the podium, So they have to fulfill all the content on board. So finally, they have to conclude the class through OHP. Through that, they have to feed the class, and in their course while they have to feed these many materials. These are all the things. Those are all the existing based education. So teachers based education, teacher centric. But nowadays in this 21st century, everything has been changing. So it's fully focused about learner. Whatever the teachers their content they are feeding the students, it will be measured by the student side. Okay, so what are the things students they learn from the teacher? So it can be measured through the learner. So that's what we have to measure that. That is the teacher centric approach. Okay, the next one is the Bloom's taxonomy. So what is who is Bloom? Who is Bloom's? So a group of college and university professors led by Benjamin S. Blooms published one handbook in 1956. The title of the book name is The Taxonomy of Educational Objectives and Classifications of Educational Goals. So Bloom's taxonomy is used extensively for systematic planning and systematic planning of teaching and learning activities. So next slide, I have to clearly mention that. So why Bloom's taxonomy is needed? So systematic planning for teaching and evaluation at the micro level and the macro level. So for example, if I am giving the information to all the 60 students, means at what level I am giving, whether I am giving the all the things in deep, and again I am sequentially increasing for micro to macro. Otherwise, just I am giving the oral content outlook to the students. Students, they have fulfilled their prerequisite and they have to remember that existing things. Then we have give the instruction as a faculty. They have give the instructions at macro level. Okay. Otherwise, if they doesn't fulfill that prerequisite, means we starts from the micro level onwards. So why Bloom's taxonomy needed? First one is we can write the curriculum of any courses in terms of observable student performance called the specific instructional objective. So first we need to observe the student's performance. We have to mention that specific instructional objectives. Okay, so we have to give the instructions to the students. No, if we are framing the syllabus in curriculum, first we need to write the objectives of the course. So specific instructional objectives we have to included, means in which way we have to feed the content. That is mandatory thing. So for that only specific instructional objectives are needed, and we can plan the teaching learning strategy in keeping with our instructional objective. Okay, through that instructional objective, we have to feed the content to teaching learning strategy. The third one is we can plan our assessment and evaluation strategies to match the instructional objectives. Okay, so after assessment, we need to compare our outcomes with, after evaluation, we have to compare our outcomes with the whatever the things we framed in the instructional objectives. So we have to compare the both. Then it should be matched, means our instruction method is correct. Otherwise, we have to change the instructions and we have to add some more. Through that, we have to improve our instructional strategies. According to Benjamin Bloom's, so the domains of learning, it can be classified into three categories. The first one is the cognitive domain, the second one is the psychomotor domain, the third one is the affective domain. So what is cognitive domain means? It is the higher order thinking. It means that it involves the thinking level. So as the school level, what they are thinking, at advanced level, how they are thinking. So the perception, it has been changing from the lowest level to highest level. So in that cognitive domain, as we all know, we are highly related with this cognitive domain. It starts from remember, understand, apply, analysis, evaluate, and create. As we are all getting. So while framing the question set, we have to add the remember based Bloom's levels. Remember or understand or apply. Understanding means, for example, I'm telling that remember, just they can't remember the existing things. Understand. So yeah, too many things are there, and what they are telling, they can able to understand. Okay, like they apply whatever the things they learn, they will apply and evaluate and create. So subsequent slides, it will be there. So the next one is the psychomotor domain. Sorry. Okay, that cognitive domain, it starts from the lower levels of remember, and subsequently it is increasing, and finally it should end up with create. Okay. um, Such a way the psychomotor domain, it starts from the lower level of imitation and increasing and manipulation, precision, and articulations and naturalizations. So such a way it is increasing from the lowest level to higher levels. So it involves the actions in our laboratory sections, and we are doing any project things, any activity based. So it's activity, collaborations, and coordination, action of limbs. So those are all the coming under psychomotor domain. And affective domain, it involves the feeling and attitude, interpersonal skills. So we have to work out in group. So group activity is needed, means the group of people, so they have to understand well, they have to exchange their ideas. So if we have to follow that, means affective domain is needed. So according to his uh, assertion, he has included these three: cognitive domain, I'm repeating, it starts from the lower level of remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Creation is the highest level. So it is increasingly in that way. The second one is the psychomotor domain. Psychomotor domain is nothing but imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. Naturalization is the highest level. So like way, in affective domain, it starts from receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, and characterization. So at the lowest level is receiving, and increasingly it will be ended with characterization. The feeling and the attitudes. So it will be coming under affective domain. So for example, cognitive domain. The domain mostly involved in higher education. It includes all the learnings that deals with the recall, recognition, and development of intellectual abilities and skills. So six major categories levels. It starts from knowledge, recall is the lowest level, and ending with evaluation creation is the highest level. So I am telling that. For example, so they are example higher order thinking level. So how it starts from remember to create. I have given some examples. The first one is the remember level. Students will be able to state the first law of thermodynamics. So already it was defined. Just they have to remember the law, Ohm's law. Okay. The second one is students will be able to match the assemblies, match the followings from left side to right side. Okay, that is coming under understand. Why? Because means match the followings means suppose five components are there left side and five components are right side, means first they will analyze all the five components from left side, and what they are asking, according to that they have to match. So once they can understand the all, then only they can able to get the points. So that is coming under understanding level. The third one is the apply law. What is the difference between the remember and apply? Means already laws are available, so in which law is suitable for that problem. So we have to choose in that law. So understand, if understand will be there, then only they have to choose in that, and applying that law, and finally we can get the solutions. So apply laws, concepts, and thermodynamics in the different type of thermodynamic system. The next one is the analysis. Students will be able to compare the changes in loads of each member of given steel structure due to wind pressure created at 100 kilometers per hour. That is the analysis section. So in this analysis section, they have given, they want to change the load. Okay, so they have given 100 kilometers per hour. So through that, they have to change the load. So they have to analyze all the things, then only they can able to fulfill their load requirements. So that's coming under analysis. And they evaluate, project reports we are evaluating, and the answer scripts they have to evaluate. It means that students will be able to discriminate the work of 4 projects reports on the based on the selection of problem identification, what are the methodology they use for finding the solutions, and the recommendations according to that evaluations will be occur. The next one is the students will be able to devise a plan. So they have given the solutions. So by 50 percentage power consumptions will be reduced. So according to that, you have to create a plan. So if you want to create a plan, 15% means already it was existed. So through that, I have to create a new one. So some novel ways we have to follow. So that's what they have to think in that way. They have to create the plan in that way. So students will be able to devise a plan to reduce the consumption by 15% in a given textile. So the next one is the psychomotor. It includes the physical movement, coordination and use of the limb, motor skills, or etc. Suppose if I want to learn a cycle, for example, bicycling, if I want to learn, I'm a kid. So first, it starts from the lowest level of imitation, next manipulation, next precision, next articulation, then naturalization. So naturalization is the highest level. So what is the imitation? So we have to imitate others. So suppose if I want to learn a bicycle, means I just observed who are all riding. So I observed, and according to that those peoples, so just I can observe, imitate the same thing. So the second one is the manipulation. So manipulation means, as we all know that, so just we have to adapt. Okay, we have to try it after getting that imitation. So we have to try it for cycling. Okay, that is the manipulation. So, and what is the precision? Exactly what they observe from others. So like kind of like those peoples, they have to observe. Like kind of peoples, they have to ride. They have to learn. That is the precision. So high level of precision is known as a articulation. So for example, if I want to learn like others, I can imitate. So after that, I have to drive with the other support. That is the manipulation. And after that, without support, I try to ride. That is the precision. And articulation is nothing but an advanced level of precision. So if I have to fix the target, so 3 kilometers or 5 kilometers without people support, I can go. That is the articulation. And fifth one is the naturalization. So even I ride that cycle 5 years before. If anybody they are giving the cycle means I'm ready to ride. So such kind of confidence it comes from me. How is possible? Because I have to add that activity with my character. So if I'm giving the bicycle means I have, with full confidence I can able to ride with and some full motions. So with one hand I can able to, with one pedaling I can able to do. So it means that in that articulation stage itself we have to learn. So naturalization means we have to get some kind of characteristics with us. Then only the naturalization will come. So it starts from imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, and naturalization. So what's imitation? Observing and botany behavior after someone else. Okay, so the performance may be low quality. It's maybe because this is the lowest level, and includes a repeating act. So in school days, for example, tables. When we are in kids, we want to remember means multiple times we have to repeat. Nowadays also 5 8 or 40. So how we have to say that? Still, it is our mind. They have to fix our mind. So such a way they have to teach the content. We also learn in that way. Then only whenever even night time to daytime, noon time, if they may ask means we are ready to table the. We are tens, 10 tens are 100. So we are ready to say 5 8s are 40, 3 8s are 24. So we have to tell that. So repeating activity it will occur. So when I was in school education, I learned, but still I am ready to say that. So it means that including the repeating an act that has been demonstrated or including the trial and error until the appropriate response is received. So for example, trying to operate an equipment by observing someone else. The second one is the manipulation. So being able to perform the certain actions by following the instruction and the practice until it becomes natural. You have to identify the word until it becomes natural. We are getting the help from others, even cycling. So for that is the action limb basis. That's what I have to take on that example. That as an example. And the instruction and the practicing it's also be considered. And the learner still is not sure of himself or herself. Okay, trying to operate an equipment to one's own after taking the lessons or reading about it. So after getting the points from others, imitation from others, they try to operate. So with the help of others we can operate it. So that is the manipulation. The next one is the precision, more exact. The skill has been attained. So refining our activity, and we want to become a more exact skill has been attained in this position. So the next one is the proficiency is indicated by a quick and smooth and accurate performance requiring a minimum of energy. So we have to get the proficiency of the indicated by quick, smooth, and accurate performance. And that overt response is complex and performed without hesitations. So once we are getting the precision, accuracy, so we have to get somewhat confident level. So, but few errors are apparent. So in that precision stage itself, we are not telling that it should be characterized with us. So precision means we have to fix, for example, without people support. The second manipulation, people support is needed. The third one is the precision level. Suppose without people support, if I am learning, so just I have to fix the marks. So 2 kilometers without support I can ride. So 2 or 3 times I may fall. I have to achieve that. Okay, and I have to train on that means without fall down I can go from that source to destination point. That is the precision level. So smooth and accurate and quick performance are needed. Few errors are considerable. This apparent. So working and reworking something, so it will be just right. Okay, that is the precision stage example. The next one is the articulations, higher level of precision. So without any fall down, if I have to achieve the target 3 kilometers, and after that I have fixed physics, and that too also I achieve this, that is the articulation. So coordinating a series of actions and achieving in harmony and internal consistency and involving and even a higher levels of precision. So the skills are so well developed. So in this articulation stage, but characterized means even I forgot it. So I forget means I don't have any touch with that activity. It's like that limb-based activity, coordination-based activity. So if I'm getting the opportunity to utilize means without any hesitations, why? Because means those skills are characterized with me. So automatically I will ride that cycle. Now I'm giving because 5 years before I got that. With 5 years before I just tried that. Now if I'm getting the opportunity, it means without any hesitation, that is the characterization. So the skills are so well developed that individual can modify the movement patterns to fit the special requirements or to meet the problem situations. So suppose if this articulation stage, so what should we do? So with one hand we can able to cycle. So with one pedaling we can able to cycle because it is my control. So I should be articulated with that. So that's what movement patterns and to fit the special requirements to meet the problem situations. The next one is the use the equipment skillfully. This articulation stage using the equipment skillfully. The next one is the naturalization. So naturalization is nothing but a high level performance. So those kind of skills it should be added with our natural characteristics. So it becomes natural without need to think much about it. Response is automatic. If they are giving one cycle, if I don't have any bike, so the cycle is the only way I have to achieve that place. Means without hesitation, I have to take and I will follow. Okay, that is the naturalization. So the individual begins to experiment, creating a new motor act or the way of manipulating material out of the understanding abilities and skills should be developed. So can use the equipment without thinking even in a novel ways without thinking we have to do. That is the naturalization. What are the examples? I just quoted that here means students will be able to operate the lathe machine by using the different controls with harmony. Okay, and the second one is students will be able to use the gas valves in the setup of flames. Already they are having an experience. They would be in workshops. They have to fix that in which level flame is needed, and the lathe machines in which control it should be given while operating time. So students will be able to connect a single phase inverter system in a given domestic circuits without any fault. And students will be able to repeat the proper sequence of hand leg movement as per the demonstration of electrical shovel operations. So these are all the examples. It's available. This is considered for a psychomotor. The next one is the affective domain. It starts from the receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, and the characterizing. Receiving is the lowest level, and the highest level is the characterization. For example, I have to suppose if people they have seen that advertisements, tobacco is injurious to health. Suppose those people they have addicted with the tobacco. So first they have to get the information from that something, some advertisements. That is the receiving. Okay, so once they have to receive the content means after that they have to see the entire 5 minutes or 10 minutes advertisement. What are the causes has causes will occur, how the people they suffered, though that responding they have to when they are getting receiving and they have to respond what they observe and valuing organizing and characterizing valuing whether the advertisement is really worthy, otherwise it should be acceptable or unacceptable, those things coming under the valuing. The organization, suppose if they have addicted the tobacco, means they want to reduce instantly any kind of habits we can't be uh, avoid. So we have reducing sequence manner one by one. That is the organizing. The next one is the characteristics. We are completing at the higher level. So for effective domain, it have these steps. The lowest levels of receiving, highest levels of characterizing. So it starts from the receiving to characterizing, increasingly that feeling at the attitude level. For example, receiving is aware of, sensitive to the existence of certain ideas, materials, phenomena, and being willing to tolerate them. So just we have to aware, if we are getting the aware about the information, that is the receiving. And the responding, it's some small measures, the ideas, materials, phenomena involved by actively responding them. So any materials are there, certain ideas are there. So we have to respond according to that. We have to do somewhat. We can do this way, we can that way. So through that information, receiving information, we have to respond it. So valuing, so perceived by others as the valuing certain ideas, materials, and phenomena. So suppose as the research level, we are getting the some information. So whether it's suitable for our research, whether these algorithm is suitable for us. So such a way we have to value it. So it is considered in that way. So certain ideas and materials and phenomena are there. The next one is the organizing. It's related the value to those already held and bring it into the harmonious and internally consistent philosophy. So it is harmonious. So as I have to, as I want to become a harmony, means I want to pleasant. So because it's the feelings related things. So whatever the ideas, materials we have, so whether it should be adaptable or not, we have to think whether it is adaptable, means we feel happy. There is a harmony. Okay, and internally consistent philosophy. The last one is the characterization. So by value, our character itself, we have to change the behavioral change. So by value, or value set is an act consistently in accordance with the values PRC internalized. They have to incorporate all the things with internalized in that affective domain base. So psychomotor domain, cognitive domain, the affective domain, these three domains asserted by Benjamin Brooks in 1956. So for the domains of learning, so in which way the learning occurred under the domains. So it may be a activity based, it is considered as a psychomotor domain. So in our education system where we have used means projects and lab sessions, we are using the psychomotor domain. And then, as I told you, that knowledge, skill, attitude if we needed, means surely we need to follow the affective domain, and the knowledge is needed, means we have to follow the cognitive domain, because higher order thinking levels domain. So these are all the examples for affective domain, and students will be able to actively listen and participate in discussions on safety, erections, and installation of heavy equipment at the industrial site. You know, you have to mention that what is the, actually it is a psychomotor domain also, but the thing is students will be able to actively listen and participate. If they are doing that activities, means that is coming under psychomotor domain. So what they have to mention, so students will be able to actively listen and participate. Okay, so installation of the heavy equipment at the industrial site. Okay, the next one is the students will be able to show the concern for safety, discipline, and punctuality. Okay, and students will be able to show the concern for safety, discipline, punctuality. It will be considered here. So they have to show the punctuality. Automatically, they are getting the good intellectual, interpersonal skills. Then they have to follow their safety equipment and punctuality and discipline. And the students will be able to give and receive the clear instructions. So they are getting the information. They are getting the instruction. Means the faculty, people, students, they in school levels, who are the students, they are liking most of the faculty, whatever they have given, whatever the faculty they have given the instructions which they have to be followed. So it is the affective domain. They are polite and they are calm. They have to give the instruction according to the kids level. So they have to tell that these teacher I like most. Okay, so students will be able to give and receive the clear instructions, and students will be able to investigate the current scientific trends, issues will be society. Students, they are approaching a lot now. They have to find that after 2 years, if you are moving to society, means which course is better. So they have to observe the society, they have to observe the technology according to their trends, they have to change their mindset. So these are the examples for affective domains. And the next one is the what is the synchronous and the asynchronous. I already told that what is blended learning means we have to use the online. So some of the contents we have feeded in online, students they can get it in online, and home itself they can able to access, and finally they have to discuss in classrooms. That is called as an blended learning. What is the synchronous and asynchronous? Means synchronous is nothing but a physical mode of teaching. In our classroom, the students they are from different locations. Exactly, they will assemble when the faculty has to be fixed the time slot. They will come and they have to get the knowledge, and the faculty also feeding the knowledge. Any interaction, any activities will be occur. So that is the synchronous learning. So asynchronous learning is nothing but that faculty they have take some videos. So like NPTEL, Swayam videos and Coursera. So they through that videos, the students whenever they free, so more relaxed manner whenever they want to, because the situation dependence also be there. Already I told that pace of instruction and classroom. There's next video I will show all the things, learning states and the learning strategies. So if they have to fulfill that requirements means asynchronous classes is needed. So whenever if morning I have work, evening 6 to 7 I will be free, I can access the NPTEL. So it means that it's relaxed manner. Whenever I need, I have to access. That is the asynchronous learning. So classroom now whatever we have physically students and they are coming from different locations and they have to assemble. So they have to sync it with that 15 minutes or 25 minutes, 30 minutes according to that they are getting the information. So I have to read it. So synchronous classes run in a real time with the students and instructors are attending together from the different locations. And asynchronous classes run on the more relaxed schedule with the students accessing the class material during the different hours from the different locations. And what is the outcome-based learning? So actually the video is lengthy, so for that only I have to fix it in that is slide itself. The next is, video I will tell all the things. So OB is an educational process. So they have to mention in outcome students can be able to do at the end of the course. It means that after faculty they thought what are the things they have learned. So that is the outcome-based learning first point. So outcome-based involves the restructuring of curriculum, assessment and reporting. It means that evaluation practices in education to reflect the achievement of higher order learning and mastery rather than the accumulation of course credits. So the next slide clearly I have to mention that there are three types of learnings available. So surface learner, rote learner, surface learning, achievers, and global learners. So subsequent slides are available. So here we won't consider the course credits. So 10 out of 10, 10 out of 9, they are getting that means achievers they can do. So deep learners, they are not getting that. And rote learners, they are not getting that. So next slide, I will tell that. So simply I have to consider this in addition to that. Not in addition to that, compared to the consideration of course credit, we have to consider the higher order learning skills. And the board structure and the curricula are designed to achieve those capabilities and qualities. So we have to consider that curriculum as well as the structure or design. Students want to achieve their qualities. And I discourage the traditional based education approach. Traditional based means direct instruction they have given. So there is analytical level, they won't follow the cases. So even they are setting the questions, it should be based on remember and understand level only, first two levels only. They are not following the create level, so they are not following the analyze level. So it's not like that. We have to reduce that. And the standard methods we need to follow using the ICT tools. We have given that. So such a way we have to follow some standard methods. And it requires that students demonstrate that they have learned the required skill and the content and encourage the self-learning. So already discussed in the first point. So students they want to demonstrate means through that self-learning, they have to get the content from the faculty. So at very basic level, without the faculty, they can't do. So after that, they will learn. So whatever they need, they will learn. So what are the approaches of this outcome-based learning? Okay. So the first one is the systematically design and develop the outcome-based curriculum. Outcome-based curriculum we have to design. Then only we are getting the outcome-based learning. And ICT tool-based pedagogy framework. Through we need to train the faculty, they have to follow the ICT tools, then only they have to achieve the design development and monitoring level review of curriculum based. So based on the industry expert and the feedback means it is valuable in addition to that. And including the reference sections, we have to add the learning material. So we have to create the syllabus. That is the important part because where they are getting the content through that link, it is a reference link. If you are providing the students with, they can get the points. Okay, so reference material, learning materials also be there, and the industry should include. So for each and every syllabus, we have included the case study, unsolved problem, and the resources. So non-trivial problems we need to include. So just we are whatever the questions available, tutorial questions available in book, not only that. So untrivial, non-trivial problems also we have to included in our courses. So inadequate number of non-trivial problems, assignments, etc. and match the course outcomes to allow the students to test their learning success. Okay, industry should also participate in this. So this is the program curriculum structure. If we follow any kind of academic institute, so we have vision mission statement. So mission statements are the milestones to achieve the vision. So it should be aligned with program educational objectives. Program educational objectives is nothing but after 5 years, students who completed after 5 years what they are going to achieve. So that is the program educational objectives, and it should align with the program outcomes and program specific outcomes. And the program outcomes, as we all know, 12. So these program outcomes they can get it from the graduate attributes. From that 12 graduate attributes in engineering education. In addition to that, specific outcomes, program specific outcomes, we have to follow that. So in that program, we have too many courses, a professional elective, so core elective, so core, so technical course, too many courses are available. So through that, we are getting the course outcomes and framing of the syllabus. And the course outcomes, how we can achieve means through teaching learning process, use of the technology tools, ICT tools, and we have to feed the content through teaching learning methods. So whatever we observed in previous slides, that should be domains of learning. So everything it should be pointed out here, teaching learning process, and at last we have to evaluate and reinforces will occur, evaluation of the result analysis. So if we achieved, again we need to improve somewhat more. So it is not a deadline based. If we are achieving 90, then after that we can't improve. There is no strategy like that. So if we are getting then even 100 out of 100, so we have to add somewhat high levels. So this is the entire structure of the curriculum. So in this programming structure, industry support feedback in this needed in this course level, and the resources should be online resources. It should be available in shared resources. So this is the program structure. So I just thank to all the people. So here I have to thank most of the content I'm getting from the NPTEL videos. So thanks for the NPTEL. Thanks for the participants also. So I just stop at here. I will meet you on next slide. Thank you. Thank you so much.